My name is Ron Clark. I've always done computer stuff and decided to put a message board up. I think it was 1999, 2000, somewhere around there. I started Tcpunkmovie.com. Tcpunk's important for me just because we have friends from the past and history, and I want to make sure people get it right. And I want it to be there and available for everybody to have access to. Just kind of remembering old names, and we thought that a message board would be a great vehicle to get people back and kind of like a classmates without class. When you hit a message board, you have different forums, and within those forums you have threads. And we just felt that there needed to be specific categories that made sense, like flickers. Everybody likes movies. We needed an area for bands so that they could promote. We needed a classified or swap meet area where people could find things, help with what they needed. We have the shit bag where initially we had people that wanted to do the usual pranks and hijinks and post retarded stuff, and we'd throw them in the shit bag. On the board we have probably 1,600 people registered, which is actually maybe about 300 people in reality. And of those probably 300-400 people, I'd say 90% are from the Twin Cities.
The premise is really good. The archival material that was amassed, especially in the early days of the website, was really cool. Putting up old flyers, telling stories about old gigs.
When it started as a resource, kind of the history of the Minneapolis punk scene, I think that's amazing. I think, you know, to try to preserve our history is really important. And I mean, how many kids from Minneapolis even know about Suicide Commandos, or, you know, and the Longhorn, all the things that happened, and that's really important.
I went in there when I started the show and just, you know, of course, told the community that I had this show on Radio K, and I got a lot of good feedback, and I'd post a playlist and people would sometimes, you know, write back and say whether they liked something or didn't like it, and I read it. It was a great way to get feedback.
I hardly ever post on there just because I feel like, you know, you write something and then you leave it, and am I going to go back and look at it? Maybe in a few months, but will it be relevant at that point? Who knows?
There are other punk rock and hardcore message boards out there, but there's like one group of people that frequent that message board. It's all the same people that go to school together, they go to the same shows together, they talk and argue together. This is two generations coming together to talk, discuss, promote, argue, and slam each other.
I don't post or anything because I don't like to type, but I'm aware of its existence.
I don't know how many other scenes there are that have, I don't know, maybe every scene has a computer network that's based on their local scene, but I haven't seen much of it.
As far as the people visiting the board, that's from everywhere, but definitely it's Twin Cities area, and then a few people from as far as Thailand, Hawaii, Denmark, Germany. I mean, there's people that are on the board from everywhere, and you know, our old friends have now become coroners and lawyers and doctors and bums and dead.
I believe I am the person with the most amount of posts on there right now. It originally started as TC Punk, the punk rock nursing home. It's a close-knit group of about 100 regular people that have formed this community that was originally based on their interest in punk rock, but now is just like punk rock, splintered off in a million different directions.
Usually when I use TC Punk, I use it as a resource to find out about shows, where people are playing.
I post on TC Punk and read it. There's a lot of good stuff on there, and there's a lot of crap on there too. There's a lot of backbiting and fighting and gossipy crap, but the music stuff that's on there is really good.
As far as a message board, and I know it still functions and is pretty popular, I don't go on it very much, and I think message boards sink pretty low pretty quick.
I read that website, but I also think there's a lot of weird, sketchy people on there that if they love George Bush so much, they should just join the fucking army.
It seems like a lot of people bicker, and they sit there and bicker at each other. Like, there's been several people whose names I won't mention who I actually know in person, and they get in these fights online. Like, you know, you guys only live like 4 blocks from each other. Meet in the middle and take care of it in person.
We don't want to censor what you have to say. and we just hope the board functions and continues, and it seems to work out pretty good. But somebody's always trying to fuck around with us, so it's kind of a game.